If you're a woman over 45, there's a hidden window in your life when your body can lose more muscle in just 3 years than it did in the previous 2 decades combined. And here's the frightening part: you can be eating enough protein, exercising regularly, doing everything right, and still watch your strength quietly slip away. Today we're going to break down exactly why this happens, what's really going on inside your body during this stage of life, and, most importantly, what you can actually do to protect your muscle before it's too late. Let's start with what's happening biologically. During the years surrounding menopause, estrogen levels drop sharply. Most people think of estrogen purely as a reproductive hormone, but it actually plays a major role in maintaining muscle tissue. Estrogen influences how your muscles respond to protein, how quickly they repair after exercise, and even how your body stores fat versus builds lean tissue. When estrogen falls, muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle, becomes less efficient. That means the same workout and the same meal that used to build muscle in your 30s may not produce the same results in your 50s. This isn't just a cosmetic issue. This condition, where the body progressively loses muscle mass, strength, and function as we age, is known as sarcopenia, and it doesn't just affect your muscles. It also impacts your nervous system and your connective tissue, which is part of why rebuilding strength becomes harder the longer this process continues. The nerves that signal your muscles to contract can lose some of their efficiency, and the tendons and connective tissue that transmit that force can become stiffer and less elastic. This is exactly why doctors and researchers emphasize catching this early. The longer sarcopenia is left unaddressed, the more layers of the system you have to repair, not just the muscle itself. Now here's something a lot of women don't realize. Even if you're eating plenty of protein, your body's ability to use that protein for muscle building may be reduced after menopause. This is where a specific amino acid becomes especially important: leucine. Leucine is one of the essential amino acids, meaning your body cannot produce it on its own. It has to come from food. What makes leucine unique is that it acts almost like a switch. When leucine levels in your bloodstream rise high enough after a meal, it signals a pathway in your cells that essentially tells your muscles, it's time to grow. As we age, and especially after menopause, this switch becomes harder to flip. Researchers describe this as anabolic resistance. Your muscles need a bigger leucine trigger than they used to in order to respond the same way. In simple terms, the amount of protein that used to be enough for muscle maintenance in your 30s may no longer be enough in your 50s and 60s. So what does this mean practically? It means the quality and timing of your protein intake matters more than ever. Foods naturally rich in leucine include things like eggs, fish, poultry, dairy, and legumes such as lentils and chickpeas. Spreading protein intake evenly across meals, rather than eating very little in the morning and a large amount at dinner, can also help keep that muscle-building signal active throughout the day. Again, this isn't about a magic pill or a shortcut. It's about giving your body consistent raw material to work with. But nutrition alone isn't the full story. The single most powerful tool we have against postmenopausal muscle loss is resistance training, commonly known as weight or strength training. Multiple studies on postmenopausal women have shown that structured resistance training doesn't just slow muscle loss, it can meaningfully rebuild strength and improve bone density at the same time. This matters enormously because after menopause, women also face a heightened risk of osteoporosis. Muscle and bone are deeply connected. When you contract a muscle against resistance, that same force pulls on the bone it's attached to, which stimulates the bone to maintain or even increase its density. So strength training essentially gives you a 2-for-1 benefit: stronger muscles and stronger bones. If you're new to resistance training, you don't need to jump into anything extreme. Starting with 2 to 3 sessions a week, focusing on major muscle groups, legs, back, chest, shoulders, and core, using either weights, resistance bands, or even bodyweight exercises can make a measurable difference over just a few months. The key principle is progressive overload, gradually increasing the challenge over time, whether that's more weight, more repetitions, or more difficult variations of an exercise. Consistency matters far more than intensity, especially when you're just starting out. It's also worth mentioning that sleep and stress management play a supporting role here too. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can interfere with muscle repair when it's chronically elevated, and poor sleep has been shown to reduce the rate of muscle protein synthesis. So this isn't only about the gym and the dinner plate. How well you recover matters just as much as how hard you train. Now I want to be clear about something important. Everybody's hormonal picture, medical history, and nutritional needs are different. If you're going through menopause and you're concerned about muscle loss, bone health, or your protein needs, please talk to your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making major changes to your diet or exercise routine. They can help assess your individual situation, including any blood work or bone density scans that might be appropriate for you. To sum everything up, postmenopausal muscle loss is real. It's driven largely by the drop in estrogen and something called anabolic resistance, and it doesn't just affect muscle, it touches your nerves and connective tissue too. But the encouraging news is that this process is not inevitable or unstoppable. With adequate leucine-rich protein spread throughout the day, consistent resistance training, and attention to recovery through sleep and stress management, many women are able to preserve and even rebuild significant strength well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. Are you currently going through this stage of life or preparing for it? And if you want more videos like this on women's health and healthy aging, make sure to subscribe, because we're covering a lot more of these topics soon.